What is going on, everybody? Gamers Goon here today with your Week 6 NFL predictions. We're coming off a rough week of 5-9. Not good. Not good. We're going to turn that around this week. Bye teams this week, Houston and Minnesota. Look out for those two to not be playing this week, but we started off on Thursday. The Philadelphia Eagles, who are coming off a loss, and the Giants, who are also coming off a loss. The Giants, I'm kind of shocked they lost to the Saints, to be honest with you. Scatabo with an uncharacteristic fumble. He's doing a backflip in this photo, but Scatabo, tough physical runner. Demario Davis after the game told him such. And then obviously the Chiefs. The Eagles, you know they're going to be good. They always seem to win games in close fashion, and they came up short against the Broncos, but I think the Eagles should have relatively easy sledding. I think the scoreline will probably look a little bit closer, but I think this is a game the Eagles should just win. They should really never be any question. It might look close on the scoreline, but it should just be a game that the Eagles kind of have comfortably. I'm going with Philadelphia to win this one, 28-21. We'll see what Jackson Dart and Cam Scatabo can do, right? Like they had a good week to start 2 weeks ago, like their NFL careers together. Obviously Scatabo was getting some time, but Dart under his first start had a good week. Last week was not the same. There was some hiccups. There was some rookie mistakes. We'll see what they can do on Thursday Night Football. I'm excited to watch them play, but the Eagles should win this one, 28-21. Next, we get into the... I don't know if this is a... I don't know what... Where is this? Is this in London again? I know it's a morning game. Yeah, this one's in London. I know we're going to, I think, Dublin, Ireland, Berlin here soon. This one's in London. And Bo Nix, coming off that big win, looked great. The Jets, man, I feel bad for the Jets, right? Like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what I can tell Jets fans. Garrett Wilson's good. I think Justin Fields is a good, solid QB. Breece Hall's good. The team's not. I don't know what to tell you there. This is another one, though. I'm sure Justin Fields and company make it the scoreline look like it was close. You look at the game they just had. Their offense put up points there towards the end of the game to make it 37-22. The Jets, though, did score 16 fourth-quarter points to make it look a little bit closer than where it really was. I think this could be something similar. 24-17, maybe you go into the fourth quarter, maybe 21-3 or 21-7. I just see the Jets really playing from behind a lot this season, it feels like. Denver should win this one. We're going with Denver 24-17. Next, we get to Arizona versus Indiana. The Colts versus the Cardinals. Michael Carter is on your screen. You are not hallucinating. That is Michael Carter. And I'm shocked. He looked pretty good. They lost to the Titans, which is to be honest, it's a bad loss. The Colts, obviously, we know they've kind of been better than expected. And I kind of know the mojo with the Colts, right? Daniel Jones is going to scramble a little bit. Not an insane amount, but he'll have to take his opportunities. He's going to get the ball to Pittman. He's going to get the ball to Downs. Jonathan Taylor's going to establish the run game. I just think this game kind of favors the Colts. It's in Indianapolis. This is just a game that you got to go with the Colts. It's going to be Indianapolis winning 27-21. Not a game. I really hope. I haven't looked at the viewing map this week for me, but I'm in the area of the Colts. I really hope the Colts aren't one of the games, dude. The games aren't really particularly fun to watch. They win, but it's not really fun to watch. But the next one I hope is on my viewing map. The Rams versus the Ravens. Yes, please. The Ravens, obviously, they've been struggling. Lamar was out last week. It looked really bad without Lamar. They were missing, I think, Ronnie Stanley, Roquan Smith, Chidobe Awuzie, Marlon Humphreys, Kyle Hamilton. Like, they were depleted last week. And you hope they don't go into this game against the Rams as depleted as they were last week, because this game will just completely get out of hand, especially when you have that many defensive starters going up against Puka Nacua, Kyren Williams, Blake Corum, Devontae Adams, Matthew Stafford. They will pick you apart all day with that offense on the Rams. You need those guys to play. I'm hoping, and I think we will see Lamar play this game. And that gives Baltimore some life there. You're going to need a big game out of Derrick Henry. You're going to need a big game out of Lamar. But moral of the story, though, you got a banged-up team on one side, and you got the Rams who are firing at all cylinders right now. They did lose to the 49ers, which I thought was kind of weird. A banged-up 49ers, mind you, which I thought was kind of weird. But ultimately, this should be a Rams win. Even if Lamar and company plays, you got to expect maybe some of those injuries to linger a little bit, get some tired legs, be able to pick apart that defense. And I don't know I think Baltimore can make it a game. If there's some injuries, though, this could get out of. If those injuries continue to be a problem for the Ravens, it could get out of hand quickly. But I got the Rams winning right now, 33-27. I think it's going to be an awkward score, but we're going with the Rams to win that one. Very well could be the Ravens. It's just kind of dependent on health at the moment. Next, we get Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. Dylan Gabriel looked pretty solid in his first career start. Didn't try to do things that you didn't need to do, right? Took what was given to them, and to be honest with you, they probably should have won. That defense, for the most part, had a good game, but you gave Carson Wentz and the Vikings late in the game. They were able to march up down the field, and they got the game-winning touchdown. That's a game, though, that for the most part, I thought Dylan Gabriel handled it well. The reality of it is the Browns lack some offensive talent at the moment. That's the reality of it. So you have to make do with what you have, and their best playmakers on the field are their tight ends, David Njoku and Harold Fannin, and he got the ball to those guys quite a bit. He was trying to get Isaiah Bond involved. He's somebody that I think you need to try to figure out a way to get that guy the ball. Speedster. We didn't see too much Jerry Jeudy. He's a playmaker there for him. But you're really lacking just guys, if that makes sense, right? I named Jeudy and Bond as your two real receiver threats. That's about it. That's about it right now. You'll have Cedric Tillman come back at some point. You figure he'll help things out. You got to get the ball to the running backs on the dump-off game, and he did. Dylan Sampson got a catch, I believe. Jerome Ford, I think, had a couple catches. Quinshon Judkins, I think, had one. And Quinshon Judkins, man, I can't speak highly enough about him. He has been an absolute stud since stepping on the field in the NFL. That guy, he has it. He has it. And I don't think this offensive line for the Browns is very good. But Quinshon Judkins finds holes and he makes them work. He runs hard, he runs tough, he finds good holes, and he's somebody that, man, you put him behind an Eagles offensive line or one of the top offensive lines in the NFL, and I was kind of just sitting there just jealous that he's not on the Bears. This guy, dude, woo! He's quick, he's fast, he hits the holes, he runs physically. I don't know what else you could want out of an NFL running back. That guy has it. When I say it, I think that guy could be a top 5 NFL running back one day. That dude's really good. And then you got the Steelers. The Steelers, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't get it. I don't feel the hype with them. I I don't believe in him really too much. To me, their game is get the ball to DK Metcalf. Their run game, Jalen Warren, you figure will probably be healthy for this one. Caleb Johnson hasn't really got a fair shake at things just yet. Kenneth Gainwell has made a little bit of a name for himself recently. None of those guys scare me, especially against a good Browns defense. You figure the Browns should hold those guys in check. It's going to be whether or not DK Metcalf can win his one-on-ones on the outside. Probably against Denzel Ward. Will he win those one-on-ones? And will Aaron Rodgers get him the ball? I don't know. For the most part, they haven't had too many issues defensively. I think this is going to be an upset spot. I'm going Cleveland 21-14. Next, we get to Seattle versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville, man. Hey, I've been on the train of Trevor Lawrence has not been very good, and I stick on that train. 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions so far this year. You got to continue to get the ball to the playmakers. You underthrew the ball, and Travis Hunter went up and made a play. Travis Hunter, man, get that guy the ball. Brian Thomas Jr., man, get that guy the ball. ETN, get that guy the ball. There's too many times where ETN was rolling out in the flats, and instead of just dumping it off and maybe getting more yards, you just scrambled for maybe 3 or 4 yards from Trevor Lawrence. You got to make those easy passes. You got to take the layups, and those are things that I think at year 7 you should start to do if you're Trevor Lawrence. I think it's his year 7. He was drafted in 2018. It's either year 7 or year 6, but I think it's year 7. Either way, you got to take your layups, and I don't think he does. He made a couple good throws deep down the field. He hit Brian Thomas Jr. in the 2-minute drill in stride to the sideline, like perfect pass. Great. You see the flashes. It's year 7. You got to figure it out on a more consistent basis. But this team, the defense shows up every game. You got ETN running probably the best of his career so far. I know he had that good year 2 years ago, but ETN looks great. He looks absolutely like a stud. BTJ, you got Travis Hunter, the 2 best playmakers you're going to have for quite a while. A guy that you traded multiple first-round picks for, I believe, for Travis Hunter. And then a guy that you invested heavily in last year in Brian Thomas Jr. Those are 2 guys that you need to get the ball more to. So, otherwise, not much to say there about the Jaguars. Seahawks, they're kind of just the Seahawks. Sam Darnold, he's going to keep it close. Get the ball to JSN. Get the ball to Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. Let them punch it in. Torrey Horton's looked really well the last few games. You're starting to see him emerge as a solid weapon for this team. Jacksonville, though, if you can continue to get the takeaways, you should win this game 24-21. Jacksonville. Next, we get to the Chargers versus the Dolphins. The Chargers, man, they started off the season so hot, and then they've started to sputter a little bit. Starting to give me some concern. The Dolphins, I don't know what to think of them. This team and the Dolphins, they kind of limped along the season so far. They lost, obviously, to the Panthers. Their one win was against the Jets. Close win. I just don't think this is a good Dolphins team. I'd be shocked if they win this game. I really would. This is a game that, I don't know, the Dolphins will somehow make it look close, but I think the Chargers should win this one 28-24. Just the Dolphins, man, I think they are one of the teams that should be looking and heavily scouting guys within the top 10. I don't see it with this Dolphins team. Obviously, without Tyreek Hill now as well, it's just an uphill battle. Sorry if you can hear the rain in the background. Next, we get the Dallas Cowboys going up against the Carolina Panthers. Like I said, Panthers got to win. I'm rooting for Bryce Young, man. I really am. I keep telling you this every week, man. I'm rooting for Bryce. I want to see him succeed. He's such an easy guy to root for. Obviously, my Chicago Bears traded the pick that became Bryce Young. I have no ill will towards Bryce Young whatsoever. I really don't. I like the guy. I think he's a good leader, but ultimately he hasn't been able to put it onto the football field too often. Well, he's had chances recently, and they've won a couple games now, 2 wins. This ain't the game for them. the Cowboys will let you score. They will. But the Cowboys will also score. Flournoy, if I'm pronouncing it correct, the guy on the screen right now, this dude randomly popped off for like 114 yards. No Jalen Tolbert. It was him. Pickens, obviously, that's going to be a tough one to guard. You got Javonte Williams running some of the best carries of his career right now behind that Dallas offensive line. Dak, he's slinging that thing even without CD. Just not a game you're going to be able to keep up with if you're Carolina. I just don't see them keeping up. But I do think they'll score 38-24, though. I think this is just going to be a high score. Hey, Stephon Diggs, I absolutely despise you right now. I lost my fantasy game by 1 point. And that's because Stephon Diggs turned back the clock. Shout out to him, though. Shout out to him. I'm upset at him for fantasy reasons. But he put up like 25 points against me. He was not supposed to do that. And that's also on me because I started Jalen Tolbert in my flex spot, and he gave me a whopping 0 points. I could have started Isaiah Davis, and Isaiah Davis would have got the job done with 6 points. He was my lowest scoring guy on the bench, Isaiah Davis. He would have got me the victory. He would have got me the victory. But I went with Jalen Tolbert, the one guy that I could have not, the one guy that would have lost me the game, I put in there on my flex spot. Of course. Yeah, but Stephon Diggs turned back the clock. Shout out to him. Looked really good in that game. Just time after time after time. Found space. Strong hands still. Still has the speed to him. He's turning back the clock. I haven't seen too many New England games, but he was turning back the clock in that game. And then you got the Saints. Coming off of a win, I still don't think the Saints are good. I really don't. I think they can only go as far as Spencer Rattler can take them, and I don't necessarily mean that as a shot at Spencer Rattler not being able to take them anywhere. I just don't see them beating the upper tier teams. And hey, New England beat Buffalo. They're in that upper tier. I think the Saints are somebody that's going to be kind of middle of the pack. You'll see them lose to some teams they shouldn't. You might see them beat a team or two that's thought to be above them, like, I don't know. I can't even give you anything. They might be able to beat like a Dallas on a given day, but they're not going to be beating teams that are out there having like legitimate playoff hopes. I just don't see it. New England, they proved it to me. They proved it to me against the Bills. I didn't really fully understand what this New England team was going to look like, and so far, I got to see them play. They look good. I know it's a one-game sample size, but this is also a team that's been pretty solid throughout the year. New England, though, 28-17, they should win this one. Next, we get a battle of the rookies. The top rookies, top QB and top running back in this class. Tennessee versus Vegas. This is going to be a fun one. Tennessee getting their first win. Shout out Cam Ward. I know it's been rough right now with that Titans team. I still believe in Cam Ward. I think it is more of a team problem than a Cam Ward problem. It's just not a very good roster around him right now. Calvin Ridley starting to get involved more. Alec Ayamanor has been one of the answers at receiver. Other than that, though, he doesn't have much help. Tony Pollard, I guess, is there. I hope you guys figure things out, but you're probably not going to win this game. The Raiders have a good defense. Max Crosby. Hey, I'll give you guys a spoiler. If you're in like any defensive fantasy leagues, I'm in a few. My bad, I'm not in a few. I've been in a few. I'm in one right now. I don't have Max Crosby, but if you were to have Max Crosby, you're probably getting a sack, maybe 2, maybe 3. He should have his way with this Tennessee offensive line, and that's just how good the guy is. I think this is an offensive line that's just not going to be ready for that task. The Raiders win at 21-17. Next, we got Kendrick Bourne's San Francisco 49ers. Where did that come from, Kendrick Bourne? Gee, many Christmas. And then, yeah, Rachaad White punching in, filling in for Bucky. Got a couple touchdowns. Looked pretty good there last week. You get a good chance here for Tampa. You got a good chance here for San Francisco. San Francisco, you hope Brock Purdy's back for this one. I tend to believe the 49ers will lose this game simply because I trust Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, man, he's playing some great football. He comes out, he delivers every single week. He gives you a close game. It's going to be close, down to the wire. You might need a touchdown to win it, and he'll deliver. Tampa Bay wins this one 28-24. Should be a fun one. One of the more exciting games this week. Talk about not exciting. Man, I cannot stand watching the Bengals without Joe Burrow. I say that every week. And especially because Jamar Chase was doing absolutely nothing with Browning until like the third quarter of the game. The 1 week that I play Jamar Chase in fantasy. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. He dropped like 26. And it was all garbage time. It was all garbage time. They had no real chance to win that game. They tried to make it look like they didn't have a chance. Green Bay, they're going to win the game. It's just a matter of how close they can make it look at the end. I have it 28-21. Cincinnati without Joe Burrow, man. They don't have a real chance to. They might make it look a little bit more flattering at the end of the game, make it a one-possession game, look like, oh, well, we were in it. They aren't in it. They aren't in it. They aren't. They're not a good team without Joe Burrow. They're just not. You got to trade for a QB, man. Trade for Jameis. Trade for Jameis. Green Bay, though, wins that one comfortably. Next, we get to the Lions going up against the Chiefs, man. The Lions look pretty good. They look pretty good. I'm not going to lie. The Chiefs coming off that loss. Usually you'd be like, hey, the Chiefs probably going to win this one. I don't think so. I like the Lions. Obviously, they're NFC North rivals, so I'm rooting for them to lose here. I don't really like the Chiefs, but I guess you got to pick between two evils. I'm picking the Chiefs to win, but my brain is not telling me that. That's just my heart. I'm taking the Lions to win. I got the Lions winning this one 35-31. I want the Chiefs to win, but it's picking between two evils. I mean, well, my hands are tied here, but yeah, we're going Detroit winning 35-31. Next, we get to Monday Night Football. We got two games again on Monday. Dalton Kincaid right now, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Didn't see that one coming. And Drake London and the Falcons looking to start maybe a playoff run. I just don't know that it's happening for the Falcons, man. This Bills team is good. I know they lost to New England, but it's still a good team. Josh Allen company, you're not going to lose 2 weeks in a row, even on the road. Michael Penix has shown that he's human. The one guy right now, really, that I would worry about if I'm the Bills is how do we stop Drake London. Kyle Pitts, he'll maybe maybe you could work him into the guys you got to stop. But those two right there, really in the pass game. And then the Bills will, I think, do a pretty solid job of containing the run game with Bijan. But you make Michael Penix beat you in this game. And then you find a way to maybe take Drake London out of the game. Not hurt Drake London, but like make him a non-factor in the game. And make them use Darnell Mooney or Casey Washington or one of those other receivers. I don't think the Falcons will be able to handle it. I got Buffalo winning 28-17. I just don't see them faring very well against this Bills team. And then we wrap it up with the Bears, man. My heart tells me Chicago. My heart tells me Chicago. And I might say Chicago. On the paper, I wrote down all my predictions, man. I went with the Commanders. You know what? I'm changing it. I believe. We're going to go on the road. Second year in a row. Hey, NFL. Second year in a row where we travel to Washington. They didn't travel to us last year. 2 years in a row against Washington. At Washington. This isn't a divisional rival, by the way. This isn't a divisional, we'll play a home and away each year. We have 2 road games against them, back to back. We're going there and we're taking it. We should have won last time. We're going to win this time. Tyreek Stevenson makes up for it in a big way. Game-winning interception. Give me the Bears. I'm taking 27-24. I had it flip. I'm going Chicago, though. I'm going Chicago. I changed my mind here while filming. We are taking the Bears. Rome Odunze, have a day. Luther Burden, have a day. DJ Moore, have a day. DeAndre Swift, have a day. Caleb Williams, prove you are the number 1 QB in this draft class. Prove it. Prove it. The Commanders looked human. They looked human. Stop Deebo Samuel. What are they going to do? What are they going to do if Deebo Samuel stopped? Be careful. They got speed with JCM, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. They got speed with him. He'll bust off some 20-yard runs here and there. The linebackers need to know where he's at every moment. Noah Sewell, you need to know where he's at. Edmonds, you need to know where he's at. Edwards, you need to know where he's at, if Edwards is even playing. Be careful with him, but I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking the Bears. I switched on the spot. I'm excited for this game. This game's going to be back and forth. This is going to be another close one here between the Commanders and the Bears. I need my Bears to pull this one off. I need them to pull it off. It would be a huge morale boost for the team. It would be a get back from last year. Let's go do it. Come on. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know down below who you have winning in Week 6. NFL, man, it's flying by. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.